Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reflecting on sort of what happened through 2024. I'm getting ready to, reset up my planner, and I have a lot of new inserts that are coming in. They're not here yet, but I wanted to take this opportunity to sort of take a look back on this last 12 months and just kind of wrap my head around, what did I accomplish? What goals that I had set for myself did I actually achieve, or at least, get close to? And I just want it to be kind of like just a nice chill video, kind of looking back over the numbers, what happened. And I'm doing that so that when I reset this up for 25 and I add in the new inserts that I have ordered and that are coming, I'm able to kind of set goals that are based on improving upon the numbers from last year. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's just take a look at, what happened last year, and then maybe just kind of some ideas about, what maybe do I want to try to put on my plate for next year. So if you've been around here before, you know that I follow the 12-week year planning system. I started this several months ago. I've been through 2 rounds of 12 weeks now, and I've never executed it perfectly, meaning that I've never, just been able to, I guess, follow the program religiously, meaning, and I find that the place that I've been getting hung up on is at the end of every week scoring what I've accomplished. So, it's strange because I've gotten a lot accomplished this year, and we're going to talk very specifically about my most recent book that I just finished, The Last Nanny. That was my big project for this year, and it's finished. It's out. It's actually it's publishing on the 19th. So depending on when I get this video edited, you'll be able to see that and kind of take a look at that finished book. I'll make sure that I put a link in the description below for that. However, I want to talk about how many words did I get written this year, how many videos did I make here on YouTube, also reels that I shared across some of my other platforms and that kind of thing. So I've looked at the numbers, and I'm going to go ahead and share those with you. So when I'm looking at my 2024 stats, and we're going to start with the writing stats, because that was, that's always my big project, right? Is, what's the book I'm writing this year? Do I think I can maybe write more than one book for next year? We're going to talk about that a little bit. So if I just look back at 2024 and I look at my Scrivener data, I'll just put Scriv for short. From January of 24 until July of 24, I wrote 38,473 words. Now, why it's only until July is because I only write my rough draft, my first draft in Scrivener. And then when I start working on edits, I switch over, I convert it to a Word document. And that's so that I can use the track changes in Word. And if I'm sharing the document with, an editor or beta readers or something like that, they're able to sort of share those with me in that way too. So I always switch it. And so then and this is when I had basically completed, the first rough draft of The Last Nanny. So 38,473 words. Now, of course, I had the whole book is about 95,000 words. And so I had started writing this book in 23. So there's many more words that I wrote in 23 for this. But then from July until, say, November, when it's in the Word document, there was an additional 7,775 words that were added as a part of the editing process, or I'm adding scenes, I'm adding chapters, that kind of thing. So my total total words written for 2024 was 46,248 words. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not thrilled with this number. And the reason why is because I know I can write more than that in a year. Now, one thing I want to sort of say is at the beginning of 24, from January and through May, I was still working part-time actually it was pretty close to full-time, but part-time-ish as a school psychologist. And I was commuting quite a long way in order to do that. And then also just that job, if you watched my earlier YouTube videos about, leaving my profession of school psychology, it occupies just a lot of headspace. It requires a lot of just, you're just cognitive energy to do that job and keep up with, all the paperwork and testing and things like that. So I guess I want to not be, too hard on myself about this number not being what I would like to. I mean, I would have liked to have at least seen that I had written 100,000 words, in 2024. So that's not fantastic, because I really had originally planned on completing The Last Nanny earlier in the year and then getting started on my next book, which will be my new big project for 2025. So anyway, the number is what it is, right? Like I'm not going to go back. You can't change it. I guess I'm going to decide to be grateful that I completed a book in 2024, and it is edited. I'm currently, the ebook cover is up, and the ebook is releasing tomorrow, the 19th. And I'm currently working on the trade paper cover for that. And so hopefully I can get that done today, and that can get up. So anyway, that is what it is. This is good though, because it gives me a good baseline number for when I'm looking at, okay, what do I want to accomplish for 2025? How do I want to increase this word count goal? And really, like, how many books do I think I can write in 25? So that's going to be a conversation for my next video, because I kind of want to combine, like, when I get my new inserts for my planner and I'm going to do a 2025 planning video. But this is just kind of like, okay, what did we do in 24? What are our baseline, numbers, so that we can build on that and, work on growth for 2025. The other sort of stats I want to share with you are for YouTube. And so really sort of this year has been a lot of learning for me about YouTube, and I am still learning. And just so you know, like, every video I make, I set a goal of learning at least one or two new things when it comes to creating these videos. And so it could be something to do with the filming process. It could be something to do with audio production. It could be with the editing. I currently, I know everyone says outsource your editing, but I currently edit my own videos. And I use Adobe Premiere Pro to do that. I didn't know how to use Adobe Premiere Pro before I started this YouTube channel. And so it's been learning how to use those kind of programs and as well. And so my just sort of goal with YouTube is, like, with every video, add a new element, learn how to do something new. And I enjoy it. I really have enjoyed, picking up some of those new skills and watching. I hope my videos get better over time. And so there's that. So these numbers, I'm going to set these as baseline numbers for next year as well. But 2024 was really, a growth, a learning year for me. And I'm sure 25 will be as well, because I have a lot more I can learn about how to first film good videos and then edit them and get them up, and learning about thumbnails and all that. And quite frankly, I enjoy it. So it is what it is. But so my stats for 24 were, I created and edited and produced. So when we're just talking about sort of long form videos, like this one will be a long form video, I did 12 of those last year. So on average, it was about one a month. Now, that was not like the schedule. Like there were some months when I did 2 or 3 videos. There were several months when I did no videos. But when I just go back and look, there was 12. I did 12 long form videos. So that is what it is. When I look at the shorts, I think I counted, there were 30 of those. So of course those are easier, and I don't think I edited those usually. And of course that's going to make it just easier to pop those up. So that's what the numbers are for 24. And same like with my writing, I would like to increase these numbers. And so I have some ballpark figures in my head in terms of what I would like to shoot for 25. And I'll just go ahead and say this is a little easier than the writing one. I think for 25, I would like to try to do one video a week. So of course that's going to be 52. So go from 12 to 52. I'm going to set that out there, but I think that makes me a little nervous because that seems like such a big jump. And with the shorts, I think I would like to maybe just at least if I could, same thing, like one short a week. So one long form video and one short per week. So that's a total of, 104 new videos altogether for next year. So we'll see. This is kind of probably a stretch goal for me. But that's okay. We're gonna put that out there and sort of see what happens. So that's basically what some of the baseline data. Now, I have other things, of course, that I work on. When we talked about in earlier videos, I believe I had before like 12 or 7 different goals that I set under my 12-week year. Now, you're really only supposed to do 3 or 4 at most, but mine were more like I kind of spread it out over the different domains of my life. So, of course, I have my career, which is the writing, and then marketing, and the YouTube falls underneath the marketing videos because everything I do is really supposed to be in service to my writing career. So I want to build awareness about, me as a writer and also my books, but, kind of combine that with just some of these behind the scenes. What does it look like? How do I, go about planning my books? How do I write books and that kind of thing? How do I work my writing into my life? So that's what these pages were. And so these were basically just, for each domain, I had the different goal, and then I wrote what I wanted to get done for that 12-week increment, that 12-week planning session. And so these were okay. I think it was good because it was me getting what was on my plate, what I was focusing on for those 12 weeks down on paper, and it was divided under the sort of different life arena. And so that was good. I'm not going to continue to do this way for 25. I actually developed my own insert, and I'll share that with you today because I made it and I've already put them in here, even though I'm still finishing out these pages for this end of 2024. And the reason I'm not going to continue to use this is because one thing like I said, that I have struggled with is the accountability portion of the 12-week planning system. And so that's that kind of, scoring yourself every week on your execution score. So when you have your projects and then you have your tasks listed underneath each of those under the projects, and you set the week that it's due. And then at the end of every week, you're supposed to score your execution. So like, did you get 2 videos? You said you needed to get 2 done. Did you get them 2? If not, how far along in the process did you get? And, sort of what is your percentage score like on your execution? Or if you set out that I was going to write 10,000 words this week and you only wrote 5,000 words, then of course that would be a 50%, for the week on your execution score. So I've been kind of, like I had said in earlier videos, trying to figure out like how to marry this all together into some sort of inserts and planning pages and things like that with regards to being able to track. And so this was one page. This was a page that I had sort of resurrected that I had created several years ago, trying to keep kind of everything in one place. And this just didn't work. Like I've got home on here and health and career and finances and sort of everything on here. And I just didn't end up using these. These weren't functional. And so, I'm glad I gave them a try. But I think what I really need to do is there's just going to have to be a bit more parceling out of how I'm tracking what is actually getting accomplished and being able to score it. So I sat down on Canva, and where did I put these? I think, they're here. So I sat down on Canva. Now I'm starting to fill these out for 25. So it's basically, it is this page still, like where I have the project and the task and then the week that it's due. So that's not changing. But what has been added to this are some of the components directly from the 12-week year. So you can see here, it's like I have the goal, and I'm actually stating what the goal is under the domain. So like if this was a writing goal, my goal is going to be, an actual word count for those 12 weeks. So if I'm thinking I want to try and write an entire first draft of one book in 12 weeks, I have never done that, by the way, but so say that was like a goal that I wrote, then I would say, draft 90,000 words for, and then the title of the book. And then I've also included in here a why statement. And so if you've read that book, I think it's by Simon, I think you say his name is Simon Sinek. I have it actually in my kitchen. I should have grabbed it and brought it in here. And the title of that book is Start With Why. And basically this is this whole, why are you doing what you are doing? And I think it's very important, and it is very clarifying at least it has been for me with regards to any sort of goals that I have been setting or things that I'm working towards. So I want to, under each of my goal pages, I'm going to include this why statement for each of those goals. Why am I doing this? Like, why is this an important goal for me? And really, I think this is what kind of anchors in your goals to your meaning. Why are you doing any of this? And sorry if you can hear that squeaking in the background. So if you don't know, I have 3 dogs, and to film a YouTube video without any kind of like one of them doing something, Toto has he got a new squishy dog, and it's got a little squeaker in the middle, which he just absolutely loves. So anyway, sorry, we have some dog squeaking. And now we have the doorbell ringing, so we might have to just pause this because it's going to be chaos for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, chaos averted, I suppose. Just as a complete side note, like anytime I sit down to do a video, one or all the dogs or the doorbell will ring or something kind of happens. And so there's always, usually I'm editing it out. Maybe I'll leave some of this in, but honestly, it's just the patience, I guess, just part of the process when you have 3 dogs and 2 cats and you live with other people in the house. So with this new page, I'll have my goal clearly listed, the why that goal is important to me, and then just a couple projects. I'm trying to sort of be very realistic about what I can accomplish in 12 weeks. So here's where we'll put the list of tasks. And of course, if I need more room, I can put many more tasks on the back of this page if I needed to. But here's a section that's really going to be what's different about this page and how I'm hoping this is going to help me better measure my execution in 2025. And so this is from the 12-week year planning system, in case you're wondering. And I'm going to have lead indicators and lag indicators. So what are those? So the lead indicators with regards to me executing on a goal. So if this was a writing goal that I'd written and say it was like, in 12 weeks, the goal is to write 50,000 words. Lead indicator type things would be, showing up for writing sessions. So say 5 days a week. And so that I have a pre and post score for each of those. So a lead indicator is basically, what are the actions that are going to lead to accomplishing this goal. Examples of the lag indicators are going to be the actual words that are getting written. And so another example would be like if I had this was a YouTube goal. I wanted to create, edit, and publish 12 videos. So a lead indicator would be me actually sitting down and hitting record and getting that accomplished. I might have a lag indicator of have my total views increased. So sometimes your lag indicators are things you don't necessarily have as much control over. So that's why I think it's important, and why they point out in the 12-week year, measuring both of those so that you can see that you're executing on your goal. Those are your lead indicators. And where your lag indicators are maybe things that you would like to accomplish, like you would like to, have more followers on YouTube. You would like to, have more book sales that year. But they're things that are maybe a little less within your ability to control. So I'm excited about experimenting with this new layout. It's just going to give me a lot more data, and I think it's going to make it easier for me then this bottom section here is my weekly task execution score. So I have 12 boxes down here, and what this is going to be is a percentage for the tasks that I had set for myself for that week and for getting those accomplished. Now, the other component of this that is going to go hand in hand with this, and this is where I'm going to be able to pull the actual data from this weekly task execution score, is another little sort of half sheet page that I've made. And there's 12 of these, and how these are going to work is for each of my goal domains at the beginning of each week, I'm going to write down what the tasks are that I need to accomplish for that week. And so that's where I'm going to actually pull my execution score from. So each of these and how these are going to work, they're just in here for now so I don't lose them. I'm not actually implementing this until we get started with the new year. But how this is going to work is, because I'm not switching out my Erin Condren like monthly and weekly planner, I'm still going to use those, but these are going to sit in the middle of each week. And the tasks I'm going to list on here are going to be what is sort of assigned to that week. So it doesn't block my view of my week, but then I can kind of see, okay, this is what's on the docket for this week. And, where are you going to put it, how are you going to get that done or whatever. So that's one thing that's going to be changing for 2025. And I'm really excited about that. I have a lot of new inserts that are coming. I ordered several inserts from Infinite Lotus, and then a new to me planner insert creation is, I think it's called The Line. And I ordered one set of inserts from them. And so when I do my setup for 2025, and I'm pulling out the things that are not working and what I'm changing over. So these pages are probably, we'll see. I kind of like these pages in here. Of course, these are Erin Condren goal pages, and I like them because you can maybe expand a little bit more on what you're going to need on those tactics. So I'm going to be thinking about those. Those may or may not be coming out for next year. So, and then, I've ordered, these are habit trackers that I've made myself, but I've ordered new habit trackers for 2025. And so we'll see if I maybe like those a little bit better. But, the general layout of the rest of my planner is actually really been working for me, and I've been really happy with that. You might have seen some of those in my previous flip throughs. I really like the way it's set up, and that I have a section for my writing for YouTube. I haven't been doing much with my blog, and so that might be something for 2025 as well that I decide to kind of get going on. Right now, it's just sort of like if I post a video, I will repost it onto my blog, and it does reach, a little bit more audience that way. So, but that's what we're looking at for getting ready for 2025. Is I have my baseline data, and I'm happy about that. And then this is the page I'm going to be using to sort of do an overview of how I want 25 to look. And so you can see, I've got it here. If the lines are not too light, you can kind of see that these are quarters. This section down here is a half year. And then, of course, here you can see it divided into each month. And so the idea being that, for things that are going to take maybe a half year, I can kind of lift all of those down here and then break them into, okay, which quarter do I want to handle that in, and then go even more granular under the months. Now, this is, of course, it's not a big space. So this is really just going to be, listing. So it's like, for example, if I was super ambitious and I thought there was any way I could, do more than one book next year, then I could say, okay, for this half year, write 2 books. And then here you would write each of the book, which book were you going to tackle in first quarter, which one were you going to do in second quarter. And then you can break that into, okay, so you're going to write, if it's a 90,000 word book, like in January, I would say, okay, so you're going to need 30,000 words in January, 30,000 in February, 30,000 in March. And just kind of, then you can have this sort of broad overview of what's happening over the course of the year. Even though I'm doing the 12-week planning session, it's still nice to kind of have that overall annual, like, okay, well, what would you really like to try to shoot for this year? And then, of course, if you were able to draft an entire book in one 12-week period, then you would have maybe the edits for that book happening during that second 12-week planning period, or during that second quarter, while maybe running simultaneously with drafting new words. So it's all just kind of brainstorming, spitballing right now. And one more thing I want to kind of talk about. So I had, of course, this was my marketing section right here. And then I had created these little kind of half calendar pages for my content planning a little bit. And it's actually not really content planning because not enough space to do it, but just kind of tracking really, like when I, filmed a video and then, editing a video and getting it up, and, just some notes about like, what are the goals? What am I trying to accomplish this month, and why, that kind of thing. Now, I will say another thing that has really changed, and maybe I'll do a video on this when I get a little bit better at it, but I have started learning how to use and implementing Notion into this aspect of my planning system. And the reason why is because I have found, like, there's just so many moving parts when it comes to producing a YouTube video, right? And, there's the scripting, the creating titles, generation of ideas, and this sort of thing. And I have found using my iPad with Notion just really is starting to streamline that process a lot more. So, if I have a script I'm going to write, like this is just kind of a chatty video, but if I was going to, write a script for a video or that kind of thing, or brainstorm ideas for a video, I have found it's much easier to kind of keep all of that in Notion rather than trying to track it on paper. But I do still like, and I want to keep this in here. So like after I have recorded this video and edited it and things like that, I want to use this as kind of like a tracker and just sort of a visual, quick in my planner place where I can see that, this is what happened. This is this sort of overview of my content, what happened or is happening for December. So I'm not going to get rid of this, even though I found that I needed something with a lot more kind of expansive capability, and that is, I'm getting that from Notion. So that is essentially what has happened in 24. Looking back, now, like I said, I did get my biggest project for 24 was accomplished. I finished my most recent book. It's my 10th book, actually. That's The Last Nanny. It is up for pre-order, right? I just had a very short little pre-order for it. And the ebook is up on Amazon right now. It's only going to be in Amazon for at least 3 months because I've decided to go ahead and enroll it in Kindle Unlimited, which means that people who have Kindle Unlimited subscriptions can read it, for free as part of that subscription. And then I'm going to reevaluate after that first kind of 90-day subscription and decide if I want to move it wide, meaning that I'll also publish it on Barnes & Noble and Kobo and Apple Books and all those places, or if, I find that the sort of increased sales I get by having a book enrolled in KDP are worth foregoing any other sales in some of those other vendor areas. So that's what's happening with that right now. And I feel very thankful and just relieved, to have that 10th book out there in the world. Again, I will put the link for that Amazon link in the description below if you'd like to go check out my latest book, The Last Nanny. It is a domestic psychological thriller, so if that's your thing, please go give it a look. And you can also find my other books there as well. But I hope you enjoyed this recap of 2024 video, getting my baseline data set so that I know I have the numbers for setting my goals for 2025 and really thinking about what do I think I can accomplish, how much growth do I think I can shoot for 2024. And I think that first 12 weeks of 2025 is going to be really informative for me with regards to, execution, productivity. What is it that I think, what is it that I can actually get accomplished now that I'm, for sure not working as in the schools anymore. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video, which will be resetting this guy up for 2025, and hopefully all of my new inserts will be in by then. And so we can get those 2025 plans set and ready for a new year. If you're also sharing a 2025 planning video, tell me about it in the comments below. I'd love to come by your channel and check it out and just see what great ideas you have coming into the new year and how you're setting up your planners. I love to watch planning videos as well. So let me know, what are you doing? What are you using? And what are your hopes for 2025? Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.